Forbes Books presents The Great Digital Transformation with Gerard Zatvani, highlighting the pioneers that reimagined possibilities and reimagined businesses. Hey there, it's Joe Pardavila, and this week Gerry and I welcome Rodrigo Cortés Pinto, the CIO of La Polar. We're going to get into the great digital transformation that Rodrigo has overseen at one of the largest retail chains in South America. Hey, Gerry, how are you today?
Hey, great. How are you, Joe?
So, I always like to start all these podcasts by asking where you are because, you know me, I'm usually just home in the States, but you're always somewhere. So where are you right now?
I'm in Chicago, in the windy city, and we have amazing sunshine here.
And we are joined this time around by Rodrigo Cortés Pinto, who's the CIO for Empresas La Polar. Rodrigo, welcome to the podcast and the show.
Hi, Joe. Nice to meet you.
First of all, talk to me about your relationship with Gerry. Like, how did you meet Gerry? When did you guys start working together? Just so we get a little context as to who you are. And keep it clean, Rodrigo. I've heard that you and Gerry like to party. So just keep it clean and talk about how you guys started working together.
I met Gerry just 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago?
In person.
Oh, okay.
We have been working for years almost. When we decided to start making B2C projects in our company, we chose OSF as our technology partner for the implementation of the Salesforce Commerce Cloud. And since year 2018, Gerry and his team have been working heavily with us. So we have building a strong relationship along the years. But in person, just 2 hours ago, we met for the first time.
So it's actually a very interesting story of how this entire world changes. When we started working together, La Polar was starting a really major digital transformation journey to kind of look at everything that they are doing and bringing new ideas and new ways of approaching their business. So we started working, and for many reasons, we didn't have the opportunity to actually meet. And then we had the pandemic, and it's just now that we were able to actually meet. So
That's
it was
great.
a good moment to also celebrate everything that we've done in the past. And so, many interesting conversations.
Excellent. And Rodrigo, if you don't mind, just tell us a little more about La Polar for folks not familiar.
La Polar is a department stores located in Chile. We have 40 stores, physical stores. Our format is we are selling from clothing, furniture, electronics. This is the kind of business that we are running. We have the retail space, but plus we are adding to our customers offering financial services. We issue our private credit card under the Visa brand. So we have a huge customer base, very loyal to us. And this is the kind of business that we are running. We have, as I told you, 40 stores physical along the country. Chile is a very long country. We have one central DC and one e-commerce operation that is growing along the year, especially during the past year. This is the kind of business that we are running.
Excellent. And so for the American audience, it sounds to me very much like a Macy's here in the United States. Is that a pretty good comparison?
Yeah, when I try to explain to the American people about our business, it's a mixture between Macy's and Best Buy and some furniture brand, all in the same box. Financial services for the customers. Yes, but this is the kind of comparison that we are using.
Great. And so a lot of our conversations on the podcast, Rodrigo, are all about digital transformation. So for you, how would you define digital transformation?
Wow, it is a very tough question because in the IT area, I will talk a little bit about IT. There's a lot of smoke in the area about digital transformation, and many companies knock your door offering the full digital transformation. And finally, when we start that discussion in our company, it's about the change. It's about how we are adapting to the new trends, how we are adapting the way that we are doing business. And technology is maybe one of the key elements in that transformation. Change is the only constant that we are facing as a retailer in our country with our competitors. and it's the only key factor for the digital transformation. IT or technology is just the enablement, but it's about the new way of thinking, how you do the things that you usually execute in a certain way, how technology can improve that part of those processes.
It's in general, I think the digital transformation process starts with reimagining your business. It's starting with the ability to actually imagine change to your business in different ways. And as Rodrigo was saying, technology just enables that. And sometimes it opens up new ways of doing things and looking at processes in a different way. But really, it's a mindset. Like it's a mindset that you have to embrace first, and then technology and everything else comes afterwards to enable, to package, to actually push things forward.
Yeah, maybe technology is the base layer that enabled all those changes, but the mindset, the way that the people inside the company must start learning again how to do business, how to delight the customers. In our case, is the key element in terms of working together, being adaptive, not only to develop from inside the capabilities. It requires the ability to be able to integrate with the overall ecosystem that is thriving outside our company. So for us, the transformation is about not only developing new capabilities, it's the ability to be and include other vendors, other fintechs, or everyone that is developing as fast as they can.
And Gerry and I have discussed many a time how the pandemic was an accelerant for many companies when it comes to digital transformation. Take me back to that spark that you mentioned happened where you decided that the company had to go in this direction to transform digitally within and then out. When did this start, and what was that accelerant for you?
I've been working for 4 years and a half in this company. The reason why I joined the company was to lead the transformation. La Polar was a company that along the year was stuck in terms of IT projects, and I am making the difference between digital transformation and IT projects because I related, but not the same. So the main focus at the beginning was about replacing all legacy systems. Once we arrived to La Polar, we developed our IT strategy where the IT role should be reimagined in terms of the leading role that the CIO and the rest of the IT team must have in the daily basis way of doing business in our company. 4 years ago, we started this journey, building these new capabilities. And along the years, when pandemic appears, our company wasn't prepared in terms of being working remotely, and being working from our houses, our homes was a topic that we were far from be able to work in that way in the past. And the reality was amazing because the amount of projects, the amount of delivery that we were able to execute during 2020 and 2021 exceed by far the expectations in terms of quality and in terms of changes. Taking that in account, today our offices are already open, but the decision was, okay, we will stay working in the same way because it is proven that if the team is focused, if the team is working with the right alignment, the results will come along with the way that we are doing things right now.
And I think it's a good journey from digitization to digital transformation when they started to put in systems just to keep up with what's happening, and then now they are more and more using the system in different ways, in new customer journeys, different way of approaching data, is really going across the capabilities and all the aspects of their business, and reimagining how new ways of working could be even possible. So that was quite an interesting journey.
It's funny how frustrations and things not going well knows no borders. Gerry, we've talked about the UK, we've talked about Australia, and now Chile and the United States all experiencing the same thing when it came to the pandemic and not being prepared for that full-blown digital transformation. Rodrigo, do you think if the pandemic didn't happen, the acceleration wouldn't have happened on your end, or would have been a little slower?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I really agree that pandemic was the best accelerator for digital transformation, because even if we are talking or thinking about our processes, internal processes, real example, if you want to apply to our private credit card, the only way to apply is going physical to the store.
What?
There's no, at that time, it wasn't, we weren't able to offer the customer the chance to apply online to the credit card.
Wow.
All the processes were defined for physical. Pandemic appears, and we were forced, in order to survive, to move fast in terms of applying or developing the capability for the customer to apply online for the credit card. And
Wow.
that change is just one example about the many changes that we were forced in order to develop that capabilities.
You know, I think what was really interesting, I know the team from La Polar quite well, and I think one of the major factor was that the team itself was ready to embrace transformation really hard. And when the pandemic came, you embraced it and you ran, and you really went for it. I think that's a very good reason why things have succeeded quite so well.
And Rodrigo, you made it sound like it was a flip of a switch, but talk to me about that transition from being able to apply for a credit card in person to doing it online. Can you walk us through that process and how you were able to pull it off?
At the beginning, when we decided and we were forced in order to move in that direction, the definition at the beginning was a little bit difficult, because the pressure to have the onboarding, the digital onboarding enabled to the customers, the business units require as soon as possible. And understanding the importance of time to market, the other side from IT perspective is about how can deliver new features, but in a way that will be future-proof. So we are a company that we have obviously limited amount of money for the technology investment. So we need to be very cautious in terms of selecting the proper applications, the right architecture designs, in order to make that the silver bullet shot will work for us. That process took us at least 5 to 6 months from the inception until we were ready for the first opening. So after that, we start the rollout process, friends and family at the beginning, and after that, the onboarding is open for all the customers. Adding new capabilities for us, it was very challenging, because at the process we were forced in order to add facial recognition and all those stuff that for us was new. We never have been in the past mixing those technologies, Salesforce technology, validating a lot of risk and compliance requirements that were defined, and adding the face recognition technology was part of the key security elements for the process. Wow. So at the end of the day, it was very successful project, and right now we are thinking about, okay, how that new asset that we have in our company, we are able to improve and make future arrangement for the future. And the idea right now is that new capability that was originally defined for the digital world with no presence will be the new application for the in-store onboarding, replacing the old legacy systems. So wow. Digital, it is replacing the old style processes at the store level.
Changing the application process completely, going from online to in-store and having a lot of intersection, because this is something that I see that many people look at it and say, oh no, this is online, this is in-store, this is brick and mortar, this cannot necessarily interact. Well, when in reality they should interact and should be designed with this thing in mind, that these channels should actually collaborate towards creating a better customer experience, to create a better employee experience, and enable the business to do more and do better for the customer.
Yeah, and the other thing that is important is how we, as IT, can be lead this process, taking the lead in this process, and trying to break the silos. Our company has a retail branch, a financial services branch. Each company has its own C-level executives, and usually in the past, those companies belong to the same brand, but works as isolated companies. So today, right now, we are joining the forces and making that the silos going out in order to provide to the customers just only one feeling about our brand. That's the key element for us.
As CIO of La Polar, how does your role play when it has these three different silos? Are you sort of the glue that puts them all together?
Yeah. I'm the glue. I'm the middle of the sandwich. Sometimes it is a very challenging role, because maybe most of our conversations technology are about technology. Obviously, this is my main role.
Yeah.
But the most important part of the role is trying to engage both parties and trying to synchronize and align the IT perspective with the business interactions and the business need, in order to provide a long-term way of doing business with technology, trying to getting the typical technology aspects, running on time, on budget, and all the stuff. And right now we are adding innovating, delighting customers. It is a lot of there's a lot of new things that are added to the CIO role, but it's the funny and interesting part of my role. Yes.
The middle of the sandwich. I don't think that you've ever heard this expression. Me neither.
No,
I don't think so.
Sorry.
But it's a very interesting way of looking at silos, to be the middle of the sandwich that brings people together.
Yeah, sorry, it's a very Chilean. It's a very Chilean slang.
I like this expression.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
And you seem very humble, Rodrigo, but Gerry, talk to me about the role that a CIO like Rodrigo plays in companies, and if you don't have sort of this high impact CIO to put it all together, because there's companies like OSF that help with companies' digital transformation, but if they don't have that CIO in-house putting it all together, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally the CIO will really handle the back office, the technical parts and everything, but you cannot be a transformative CIO if you don't look at the bigger picture, the business transformation that the company should go through, and that basically it's your responsibility as a CIO. It's your opportunity. Let me call it this, because I think opportunity is the right word. It's your opportunity as a CIO to bring the innovation to the company, to challenge the transformation of the company, and that's when interesting things happen. And if the CIO is not taking this journey, not embracing this, then it's also a missed opportunity for the CIO. And every time when we see CIOs that embrace this and want to drive digital transformation beyond just replacing this system, improving that system, it's when very interesting things happen, and companies do very interesting projects that at the end of the day impact the bottom line, impact the customer experience, and impact the future of these companies. Look at companies like Toys R Us that went out of business because they frankly were behind the curve. And that's one of the reasons they didn't have somebody visionary that was able to bring new things to the company, to push everybody to align with new technologies. And it's not about new technology for the new technology, but the customers have certain expectations. The customers want to interact with your business in different ways. If you are not able to provide that, you're going to lose the customers. It's as simple as that, and then you're out of business.
In a way, it's, we talk a lot about that visionary CEO because they get on the front pages of magazines and blogs, and they become trending personalities online. But you almost need that visionary CIO to take it to the next level because of the fact you don't want the CIO to be just a glorified IT guy to check all the boxes. So, Rodrigo, when did you realize that you wanted to be more than the check the box CIO and become a transformative CIO? When did that come along? How did that come along in your journey?
Maybe for me, has been along my career. I've been working for almost 30 years only on retail space, different retailers, but most of my time on retail. And I was working on the business side of technologies. And I'm not the guy who understands about network protocols or servers. This is not my area. But most of my career, I was working side by side with the guys from the business. So for me, it was very natural in terms of understanding the pressure, understanding why they are asking for more, even if our out of capabilities in terms of delivery for the projects, the funnel, the backlog always is full in terms of projects. So along the years, and especially on the last 4 or 5 years, I think especially with the omni-channel transformation, I think the role of the CIO should be part of the front line, rather than be the one who is running the lights on or the back office systems. Understanding what is happening, what is expected for the customers, and how the world is changing, and how adapted you must be for your company is part of your duty. Yeah, that's a gift for me.
And Gerry, what is your CIO radar like when you meet these companies and you're introduced to the CIO? Can you tell that, obviously with Rodrigo, you knew he had the secret sauce to be able to help with the digital transformation, but can you tell when you walk into a room or meet someone in a Zoom room that they have what it takes to commandeer that digital transformation?
I think it takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's a lot also about the questions that are being asked and the kind of the projects that they want to embrace and work on. And it's how they challenge you. You can really quickly see that, well, this is an interesting conversation. I want to go deeper. I see that this is going someplace interesting. And obviously, you will not start from day on something world changing or restructuring the entire company or anything. You generally start with projects that are not that challenging, but as you move forward, right from the beginning, you can already tell that the person that you have in front of you is the kind of a person that will challenge you, will challenge the company in a good way, and that's something that comes up pretty quickly in the conversation.
One thing that is very important for me is about the storytelling. And usually when I on the interview with the people that is trying to apply to our company, is about, okay, why we are here, what we are building, and which will be the story that we as a team, as a core team of taking decisions, we are creating right now. And obviously, this is more than develop or implement a new ERP or changing the back office system or applying a new interface. It's about building new things, but things that belongs to you at the end of the day. It's about your personal realization. This is, for me, part of the core of the ideas of how you can inspire in some way the team that is working with you in that part. And obviously the team is the key part of any transformation. Your ideas, your inspiration, your power is nothing if you don't have the proper or the right team along your side, sharing your idea, building new ways of doing things.
Gerry, this guy's pretty good.
Yeah. Of course.
He's very good.
This is how we as a company, we are getting always better. We like to work with customers that challenge us and have a good vision, a good story behind them, and that takes you to the next level all the time. It's very rewarding. It's challenging at times, because I can tell you, Rodrigo is not the guy who's easygoing. He's very demanding, but it's demanding but fair.
Yeah.
and that makes all the difference, and it allows us to go further. That I'm very fortunate to have had many interesting people in my life that kind of allowed us to grow along them as well.
So, Rodrigo, it sounds like Gerry knew within 10 minutes that you were the one. When did you realize that Gerry and OSF were the perfect fit for La Polar?
Well, it is a very good question.
You should say 10 minutes to be fair, but I guess not. Okay.
No, it was I think it was the perfect moment at the perfect time when we were in the evaluation about who will be our partner for the commerce implementation. One of our definitions was we don't want to go with the big four company, because different reasons. We decided to move into another tier of niche players for the implementations. And at that time, our software, in that time Salesforce, they tell us, okay, these two guys are the one who I think you can make a good match. We visit at that moment their operations in Brazil. And the good thing about the coincidence was, for us and for me and for my team, was the first project that we implement at La Polar, so should be a total success. It was mandatory. And at that time, OSF was acquiring a software company in Brazil. We potentially would be the first customer in Latin America for OSF. For me, for us as La Polar, it's a very, very important project, but I think for OSF would be as important as us, because it would be your first project in Latin America as an OSF. So that's make the deal finally.
And Gerry, take us behind the curtain a little bit. What was the inspiration for that company down in Brazil?
It's about people. It's do we share the same values? Are they ambitious? Do they want to go further, expand their knowledge and their capabilities? This was the work ethic. These were all values that we looked for, and we got along. And I was very confident that bringing them into the OSF family was the right thing to do, and enabled us to do many interesting projects and the digital transformation processes in Latin America, and not just in Latin America, but worldwide nowadays. So that was the story.
All right, it's time to take a break, but coming up in the conclusion of our discussion with Rodrigo Cortés Pinto, the CIO of La Polar, Rodrigo talks about the importance of embracing failure during your digital transformation journey.
Failure is part of the equation. You must be open to fail. If you fail, try to fail fast. Try not to punish. Obviously, we are not to fail, we are to be successful. But along the process, we need to be able to deliver.
This has been The Great Digital Transformation with Gerard Zatvani. To participate in the conversation, go to gerardzatvani.com. The Great Digital Transformation is a production of Forbes Books.